Hi everyone, this is Laura Lynn from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Long Arm Wednesday, this project we'll be working on is called Urban Windows. It measures 94 by 94 this way, 90 this way. I'll be quilting that up myself with my machine. I have a spiral gray and my batting. Come back and I'll teach you how to load it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the loading of this gray swirly backing. So I have it facing down, the good side is facing down. Pick your sandwich. I find it easy to find the center of my fabric. My leaders are all marked with where the center is. I find it easy just to do a clip and then I don't lose my pins, because as I'm moving my backing around, I find I lose my pins. So I always put a double one right where I made a little clip, and then just work my way in one direction and then the other. This is I got extra wide backing this time around, so I'm pretty excited about this. It's the first time I've ever had extra wide backing. I really love this gray swirl. I want to thank you for joining me for Long Arm Wednesday. Hoping we can have lots of fun together, and I'll take suggestions. People want to see certain things, I'm all up for it. Living is learning and learning is loving. These pins hurt, so careful. I did get leader grips, but I have to adhere the poles together yet with an iron, or a hair dryer, not an iron. But I don't own a hair dryer, because if I did, this mop of mine would be frizzy. So I plan to get that done at some point in time, bug a neighbor for a hair dryer. And I have used them. But I figured, since this was such a big quilt and I didn't have them secured, I better pin them. I can't wait to get this quilted. I've been waiting for about 2 weeks now. It's one of my bigger projects I've had on it. My biggest one I've had is 108 inches. No, actually, sorry, 112 inches by 108 inches. That, I have to say, was, oh my gosh, it's huge. But it was so beautiful. Took an army just to fold it up. Alright, I always double pin at the end. That's just me, I find it more secure. I'm going to skip to the front and pin the other side. Be right back. Alright. Now here's my little clip. Can you see that? So I know immediately that's where the center of my fabric was. I've already got my leader partially up here to make it easier on myself. Alright. Do the same. Line it up. If you don't have the centers marked on your leaders, oh, please do so. Save yourself a whole lot of headache. Always just go one side to the next. And I have, since this is extra wide backing, I just cut it the length that I needed, or sorry, the width that I needed. Well, the length, that's right, first time around. And left the rest on. So it's probably going to be a little more than the normal quoted 4 inches bigger backing than suggested. But that's alright. Almost done. Sorry, probably getting my head right in your face there. Almost done. And I earned every single one of those gray hairs you're saying? And no, I won't dye my hair. double pin at the end. Ah, see, ooh, blood, ow, blood bad. Soda water. If you got it on anything, get it out. Just need a band-aid. Be back. Sorry about that. All fixed. It's not going to bleed for long, and it's my own darn fault for not listening to my own advice that they were sure. Alright. The other side here. And though I have a Statler stitcher, it's computerized, I'm going to be quilting this one all myself. You can't learn unless you do it. I've been having a lot of fun with the past, probably 12 to 13 projects I've taken off Mr. Walt here. That's what I call my long arm. Band-aid down. Almost there. I'll tighten the backing and put in the batting. Almost there. A few more pins and then we're ready to load the batting. Sorry. Alright. Now we're going to crank her. Come over on this side. Backing a bit here. I may have to get hubby's help. Make sure it's rolling up nice. Beautiful fabric. I love how it's just an extra right back. When I purchased it, I was so excited. I was like, finally! The stuff I didn't have to piece. Well, I'm sure lots of you have probably used this already, but it's totally new to me. And I just like, woo! Felt like it was Christmas when I found it. Alright, wow, that looks beautiful. Ooh, feels so good. Alright, backing. On the other side. Top one here. I have. There we go. With the city lift band-aid. Okay, so this, when I measured, needed to go top down. So instead of like a book, let's go this way. Okay. This quilt is huge. I had it out on the fence. I've taken some pictures of the quilt top of it, and it was just beautiful. It just made me all more excited to get her quilted up. All right. You could tuck this a little bit away, just a smidgy. Using a nice flat edge of your batting to help give you a guideline. There's lots of moving on with this one, unfortunately. Alright, now for here, I'm going to tuck it in between here. And then this is where I'm going to attach my top of the quilt to once I get it base stitched. And then I'll attach it here. So right now, I'm just going to tuck this in gently. Get in the right spot, didn't I? Yes. Okay. Take your time. You don't want to rip your batting. You just got to start all over. Okay. Don't mind it's the Renault stuff underneath. Make sure it's straight. Don't have any puckers or folds. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. Alright, now I'm gonna, is my system sorted up here yet? Oh, it is. I had selected, as you may see here, I did select a few patterns, but I changed my mind. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I got this. So, I want to put a base stitch on. Okay. Already loaded my threads. I chose a very soft pink. I think it's called periwinkle, actually. I know there's no pink in the quilt, but I thought it would complement. To move that out of the way. One moment. Yeah. Just pull that up a little bit. Make sure you're all ready to go. This side, I gotta go wee. Thank goodness for a flexible screen and a little over there. I'm gonna cut that batting so I can make sure I do see. Clearly my cut's not as straight as I would like. There we go. Okay. A little leader grips here. Just hold her nice and steady as I'm stitching along. Okay, thanks, Arlo. Okay, now I'm just going to do so your batting stays nice and flat. I will put the quilt up on top of this, but since it's so big, I wanted to make sure at least I had the batting down first, and then we'll work from on the top. This is as far as I can reach for my throat neck here. Okay, go back a little bit, stop it, shift, and start. Oops. Just tacking it down. I don't want to have to fight with it. Okay. Single stitch. Let's shift that off so I grab those threads. Another stitch. Clippers. I suggest getting a little magnet if you can. Just a couple of these little high-powered magnets. Stick them right to the side here. And then you lose those. Careful when you're putting your hands down. Try and tilt them this way. That way I don't get punctured. Got the scars already. over here. I'm just going to do the same thing. Channel lock. Oops, shift lock. I'm going to pick the wrong one here. There we go. My base stitches are just an inch, once every inch, but I do go twice. I don't know why. I like to know it's good and secure. I don't have to worry about it. Alright, drop the channel lock. Get your bobbins right up. Alright. Now, to load the top. It's a beautiful quilt. I had such fun making it. It's called Urban Windows. Probably mentioned that already, but it's just called my name. And my center of this, thank goodness enough, it actually happened to be a piece on the border. So I was lucky enough. I didn't have to clip. Or this way you can make a mark with a washable marker, or you could put a little safety pin or something in there until you get it all tacked down, or whatever helps you. I find a little clip because as you're moving the quilt top around, you don't want to lose that pin. Beautiful. I was telling my husband, it reminded me of Atlantis. Just see all the beautiful colors together. It was in a quilt magazine. I will have all the details for you in the, the end file, the end part of the video. If you shall wish to do one like this, or you could find a fabric. Okay. On the stitch. Alright, this is the tweaky part. It seems to take forever. And all you really want to do is just get in there and quilt. Or is that just me? I don't think it's just me. I think it's all us crazy quilters. I don't speak for myself. I am still new to the long arm. I've only had it since November, end of November. But I have learned so much and love, 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 love to play with it and to learn. It's hard to describe the fun of it. And when you have a dream come true, it just seems to make it all that much more better. Okay. Stitch along the top here. Oops, I took a channel off there. Now I am. Of course, there's no really lines to follow on the quilt front itself. Oh, there's a dark thread in there. I'm going to get that before I get stitching here at the top. See you now. So I'm going to block your view for a second here. Alright. I believe this is called feathering your fabric or smoothing your fabric as you're going across. Still up. I'm going to come down here too. I'm going to line this up a bit. It seems to be a little wonky chickadee-doo there. Alright, now I want to change my channel and start. And tug this over a little bit to kind of straighten it out as I'm stitching down. The channel's not locked. There we go. Careful of your fingers. Mr. Walt is not afraid to bite you. And him have very sharp fang. I have not experienced it myself yet, but my ruler has. Whole ruler. Now I'm going to just bring up my thread so I can go and stitch down the other side to keep it nice and secure. But before I get to the other end, there was a dark thread over here. I was going to try and get underneath the white. Just move it to the purple. I think that's what just purple thread. Make sure there was nothing else that you wanted to change before you stitch the side down, because right kind of after that you're kind of committed. It's easy enough to rip up. It's only an inch every stitch, so it's not like it's made in stone. But here's your chance. If you want to make any changes, maybe even flip it the other way. If you had a pattern preset from edge to edge and you wanted to follow all these lines that were going down this way, the urban windows this way, that would be a cool idea. Picking the pattern each size of the urban window set. That would be kind of cool, actually. See, now I think of it. It's alright, there's always another one. There's always another quilt. Alright, got a channel lock. First we're going to shift to the 90. Like I said, this one needs seems a little persuasion. Careful of Walt's fang. Just take your time. I'm very excited to be doing these long arm Wednesdays. So much to show and learn. We learn together. Alright, stop. Single stitch. Shift out of the channel lock mode there. Thread up. And snip. Okay. Alright, there we go. That is the top loaded. I'm gonna load the other end of the top to its leaderboard here. Okay. And same, it was in the middle where I was piecing, so it happened to be lucky I could just match that up and set some pins in. Just gonna flip this up here so I don't double pin it. And then I'll tighten it up and then I'll get stitching. I do hope you join me for that. And watch a lot of other long arm quilters with their designs and how they do things, and everybody's got their own flair. I'm not very good at doing feathers. They kind of look like fat hearts, but whatever. I do love swirls though. Swirls and loops and even stars. I did a Christmas quilt and the first 2 stars were not all that fantastic, but after that, once you get the hang of it, it's just muscle memory. It was really fun. I was doing some awesome stars. I was so proud of them. And when I gave the quilt away, it just made me that much more happier to know that, you know, those stars were rocking. I did the best stars I could. appreciate your patience and sticking with me to the end of loading this. It doesn't take just 5 minutes. I wish I did, but it didn't. But you know what? Makes you think about it as you're going along, and you realize how really big it is and how much you got to do on it. And it's like, all right, I'm going to keep me busy for a while. I have a few ideas in my mind yet, but I'm still going to practice them on paper, doodle to make sure I get the muscle memory before I actually quilt it on the quilt. So I'll be doing that later today. It's all about muscle memory and having confidence in your stitches. And if you don't like it, that's what the ripper's for. It's your best friend. The lovely people that I bought my long arm off of, she calls it playing frog or rip it. Rip it, rip it, rip it. I thought that was hilarious. Made me laugh. And I have had a little bit of training with my long arm, but mostly it's just self-taught. I still have another training session to go when it's convenient for the both of us. Unfortunately, I do have a few jobs. Keeps me busy, as well as the mom and pop quilt shop. So, but I felt when if I think I was lost to a point that I needed guidance, I would get her here. I'll still take it. I've been having so much fun. Either if you're doing it free motion on your home domestic machine, like good old sewing machine here. I've done many quilts on that first before I got my long arm. Just did one up not too long ago called Gemstone, and it had so many colors in it. It was my first paper piecing, and then when I got it on the long arm, I thought, oh, I'll set a nice pattern for the center of it, and then I'll do all the free motion myself around the edge. And then I got to it, and I'm like, you know what? This is all me. I'm doing it. I got this all. And it's nice to know when I look at it now, it's my husband's cuddle blanket. When I look at it now, I know I did every single one of those stitches. It's all my design, right? It's very exciting. All right, now that, my dears, is the top loaded. And we're just gonna crank her tight. Scoot over here in front of your way there, sorry. And try not to get the batting, apologize, caught up in there. And crank her slowly. Crank her slowly. Okay there, dear? Yeah? Okay, cool. I do hope you join me for stitching this up. Seems like it's snagging on something that's going on here. Yep, we are. We're cutting the batting. Oh. Ow. Ooh. Oh, what did I find? Ow. Hazard. That's two now. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently I left the needle in and the batting got caught up on it. And now I have ripped my batting. So I'm going to have to fix that. So we'll be back. Hi everyone. Remember when I ran into that issue with the tiny hole? Well, it didn't end up being a tiny hole, which I thought was about this. I probably would have repaired that with a few stitches and maybe like a little filler piece if it would have been okay. But no, this little culprit of me leaving it in the quilt top made this big mess. So I took it off. So I have the top off here, I've taken it all off the long arm here, and I'm cutting a new piece of batting. This can always be used for something else. I don't consider it a waste. Just do the job and do it right. I'll come back when I've all caught up to where I was before this little incident. Thanks for joining me. everyone, back again. I re-put my batting in because I ripped the last one due to a pesky little needle I left in my top. So to make it easy, I have these zipper leader grips. So I just took my top off that way. Sounded naughty. My quilt top off that way, so I could just load it back up like I had, and then I could just crank it up. Trying to lay it up here so you can see. There we go. Just take your time. For some reason, I'm not sure what's getting caught in here. Oh, a wee thread. Of course, it's always something, though, isn't it? All right, there we go. We're almost to the races. All the way to the end. Tape shut. All right, now. I think I'm going to crank this down a little bit. Hopefully I don't get it caught up. Get some help from my husband at this point in time to make sure we're not doing this third time around. And then I will stitch on the top again and hopefully get quilted. Over a bit. So you remember on the top leader, it is centered. So you want to make sure it's centered on this one too, or it's just not going to look right. Okay, there's my red line. That's my center. Alright. I stitched my batting down way past where my quilt was, but I will stitch down on my quilt itself to give it the base stitch needed. Alright. Straighten over here. I think we're almost ready to rock and roll again. Normally I start in the center. I'm not sure why I did it from left to right last time. But when doing your base stitches, you really should work your center outwards and go this way. I'm already at the very back of where I can go. I'm going to go that way and then down and then this way and down, back this way. Stop. Switch to the other direction. Start. Remember to watch out for Walt's fang there. I'm only tugging it just a smidge because it's just pulling a little bit towards the center. I really want those lines straight. Sash over here. keep warning you about Walt's fang, yet I didn't warn you about the needles too. I wonder if Walt's fang is going to get me in the end. No, don't do it, Mr. Walt. I would be good, I promise. Alright, switch the other direction. Lock it first. Stop, switch the direction, start. There we go. Beautiful and ready for action. Alright, now I'm just going to tighten the top up a bit because I don't want to be stitching on this loosey-goosey top here. So I'm going to tighten the top a smidge. And then we'll come back and turn the big lights on so you can hopefully see the stitches. I've got a couple of different lights. I got a black light. I'm not sure that's going to help us. Something's going on. Something's always going on. Take a little bit more. Alright, don't forget to give your top a tighten as well. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. It's new tongue today. It's new tongue Wednesday. Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Look how beautiful that is. And be sure to take the time here if you want. A couple of wayward little threads. You know. Don't just toss them on the ground because then your socks collect them. But the birdies love all your little threads. And since spring is going to be sprung soon, so they say. Alrighty. I'm going to take a few minute break and I'll come back and we'll get stitching the top here. I'm going to do a separate pattern for this one, the border, the sashing, and then for the whole main body of the Urban Windows quilt. Please come back and join me. Thanks.